when you came to Auburn, when you were hired, there was a lot going on. Just with the basketball program, softball program was coming out from under a cloud a little bit. I guess take me a little bit, if you can, behind the scenes, behind the thought process and the decision making that went behind everything that was happening with basketball. Because people were wondering, nationally, people were going, Bruce Pearl's not safe. Then I was hearing, no, things are fine. But you guys were kind of, listen, we got to work things out. Sure. Figure things out. What was that like when you first got here, and then even to today with Bruce Pearl and the basketball program?
You know, the hardest thing to do, I think, in our worlds and our jobs are to drown out the noise. And so you asked earlier about what professional sports taught me, and that is you have to drown out the noise. Yeah. And you have to be able to see things through your own lens and have that lens be as unfiltered as possible. And so what I told Bruce is, my job is to observe and just try to understand where our program is going and really treat the situations differently. There's things that we have control over, and that is our support for Bruce in the basketball program. And there's things that we don't have control over, and that is the FBI investigation. So my grandmother taught me from a very young age, you can't worry about the things that you can't control. So I don't tend to spend a ton of energy on things that I can't control. I would much rather spend energy on things that I can.
I know a lot of folks want to know, is the NCAA involved yet? And is that coming down the road? Because I know the president has mentioned that at some point there will have to be discussions.
Right. Yeah, not yet. And, the difficult part is we want this to come to closure, just like the fans do, because it's not healthy to be in a world of uncertainty. But I feel confident that Coach shared with the president the things that he felt he needed to share, and we're standing behind him, and we want him to be successful, and we will continue to support Coach and his basketball program, and we're super excited about what he's done and look forward to the future years under his leadership.
So you feel good about the situation after everything you've learned?
I do, and that's all that we can go by.
Otherwise, you want to get a contract extension and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that demonstrates something.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about football. I mean, football, goodness, it's the nitrous and the gasoline in the engine.
Yeah,
it fuels everything. You're about to open an incredible game day facility. We actually just drove by it. I'm looking forward to getting to look inside of that thing. It looks fantastic. Locker room looks great. Everybody wants to know. I am seriously asked about it every day, and I can't imagine. I hope you shelter yourself from people. They're always asking, when are they building a football facility? When are they building a football facility?
Sure.
And it doesn't help because in this state, things are so magnified because of SEC football.
Yeah.
But it's also magnified because Alabama obviously is in the same state.
Sure.
And everybody wants to compare. It's always an arms race.
Right.
Alabama just announced a 10-year, $600 million capital campaign.
Sure.
What are your thoughts going forward, not just with maybe a football complex, but also some other things for football to kind of get them, not necessarily back in the arms race, but to make sure that they don't get bypassed by other programs? Because, Jordan-Hare Stadium, I don't believe it's been renovated since like the late 80s, other than the game day facility has been built on. There's not a football-only complex, while everybody seems to have one.
Sure.
What are the discussions there? I know there's a lot of facets to it.
Yeah, I'd say big picture, and a lot of it, Brandon, is I've got to wrap my arms around our facility situation and also our financial situation. So from a business perspective, you have to be sound and you have to be fiscally responsible. We also understand that there's a passionate element here to this whole thing, and the importance of recruiting and demonstrating that you understand that you have to be moving forward. And if you're not moving forward, then you're falling behind. And so we understand all those things. The university has put in $100 million each of the last 10 years or so onto capital projects on campus. And as we've driven around, there's 5 or 6 cranes on campus right now. So the university is committed to having a world-class institution, and that's really important to us as an athletics department. The important thing is understanding and trying to develop a plan of what our needs are. I use the term an executable plan. So
Right.
could we launch a $600 million facilities master plan? Well, of course we could. Everybody in the country could. But what do we need? What makes sense? And how can we be good stewards of our resources to allow for our fans to have an enjoyable experience and along with our student athletes?
Do you want to piece together some sort of master plan of your own, or are you wanting to take this like step by step based off of needs?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is.
So it's potentially like you could build something before you actually start a campaign for an entire.
Yeah, I think there
capital
needs to be a well thought out plan of what our needs are, what our expectations are. Are we able to fundraise? Right? Is the Auburn family? Everyone wants to win, right? But you can only build. We can build whatever we want if we have everybody in the Auburn family committing something. Whether that's $1, $1 million, or $10 million, right?
Yep.
As long as everybody's singing from the same sheet of music, we can be a beautiful chorus. So,
I like that.
That's not bad, is it?
That's good.
So what we need to do is we need to create a plan that we can show to our fan base that's going to get them excited about the future of Auburn athletics, and that's hard to do in 6 months when you're still trying to figure out everything out.
Okay, I'm going to put the pressure on you.
All right, I'm ready.
It still relates to this.
Okay.
When are you going to build a football complex?
When you give us a whole bunch of money.
You don't want to know what I've got.
When you and your friends who are sitting around talking about when are we going to do something.
Well, listen.
When you and your friends there
are a lot of fans watching this right
Sure.
now, and we have fans like on our message board going, well, why doesn't Tim Cook give a lot of money or whatever?
Yeah.
And I always go, why aren't you giving money? I mean, it's every dollar counts. It isn't about.
I would argue that this isn't an Allen Greene or a Gus Malzahn. That project wouldn't be solely tied to us. This is, whatever we decide to do is going to be an enhancement to Auburn University. And for those people who are out there who are wondering when we're going to do something, we first need to make sure that we have a plan in place to present that. And then I think it's about response, right? Are people passionate enough basically to put their money where their mouth is? And if they are, then we can build a whole bunch of stuff and we can do it really, really quickly, right? If they're not, then that's going to mean that we need to take some more time and do what we need to do. So collective approach is so much better. I love it when 1 + 1 = 3.